All right, all right, all right. We are live. We are live. Yes, we are. Just waiting for a couple of more people to join. Just sharing this to my viewers. If you are in here, go ahead and share the video. Share this video, please. Go ahead and share, 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 share. Share, 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 share. Share, share. Look, share it. The more people are buying the stock market, the better. Share, share, share. Share alike. Share, share, share. All right. Share, share, share. All right, let me go live here and then we can go ahead and start. All right, so we are live. We are live. So this is Ask the Trader. And what I would like for you guys to do is if you have a question regarding the stock market, I want you to put it in the comments section. Okay. If you do have a question about the stock market, I want you to put it in the comment section. So the way that this works, right? You guys know that I have the Millionaire Challenge starting soon. The Millionaire Challenge is starting soon. It will start January the 1st. And if you've been a part of my community, you guys already know I've created a lot of millionaires over the last, 10 to 15 years, investing and trading in the stock market. A lot of people have been following some of my cues, some of the stocks that I've been investing in, like your Nvidias. Some of my claims to fame was, Nvidia, Bitcoin, Tesla. A lot of these companies that are becoming household names now. I was talking about these stocks 10 years ago and nobody knew what an electric car was, right? Now in my lifetime, I've owned 5 electric or electric capable vehicles, right? So I've always been that way. When I first started investing and trading in the market, I'm an Aquarian, so I was always ahead of my time. I was always ahead of my time. So I was always the guy that was looking out the window, bored in class, right? And it helps being in the stock market because I don't want to say I can see the future, but a lot of the things I have a gift of being able to see how things develop and where those things can go, right? And that helps when you're a full-time day trader or a full-time, if you're full-time doing this, I'm in the real estate market and the stock market is very easy to be able to say, hey, in 10 or 15 years, if I invest in these particular things, I should be able to make money on it, a decade later, right? A lot of us want our money right now. I want to be rich right now. Well, you can, right? But if you want to be rich right now, you're competing with people like me, right? So if you're going to compete with a person like me, because I want to keep it all the way real, in order for you to make money in the stock market, you have to take money from somebody else, right? 10% of the world owns 90% of it. I've always considered myself a 1%er. I'm always been in the top 10% no matter what I've done. And that's not to brag. That's just, I always lean into my strengths. Things that I can't do, that I'm not good at, I don't participate in, right? I wasn't that, guy that just loved to play this particular sport. So I said, I'm going to just run this sport because I love it. When it came down to it and I had to pay for college, I had to lean in on a sport, which was swimming. I love swimming, but swimming is not my favorite sport. My favorite sport is actually football to watch and golf to play, right? but but swimming came naturally for me, right? So I had to lean into my strengths so that it can pay for my school up at Howard University. So, a lot of people know that about me, right? I always lean into my strengths, and I want you guys to do the same thing when it comes to the stock market. When you're in the stock market, I don't want you guys to buy things that you've never heard of, right? I want you to buy things that you deal with, like when I first came into the market, the only thing that I bought was Apple. That's all I knew. Apple products. Apple had just come out and I loved their products with the iPod and the iTouch. And I still have some of those devices, right? And all I knew was silver and gold, right? That's just all I knew. I didn't know about all of these different companies that were out there and what I can make money off of. I just knew that Apple was growing. I could see the trajectory that it was going into. And I said, I want to invest in the best companies that are out there. And that's why I've been successful in this business. Not because, I lucked up and I was able to get in, at the right time, which was right around 2008 and 9 when the real estate market uh, crashed, but because I was able to lean in on the things that I enjoy doing, and while I was doing that, I was able to make money off of it, right? That's why I was able to catch crypto was fun and exciting for you guys that didn't get involved in it. You could feel the energy behind it. So no matter what people were saying about it, I could see the numbers and I could see billions of dollars, trillions of dollars flowing into crypto. So no matter how you felt about it, if $1 trillion is running into an asset class and you're investing in it, you're going to make money in it. It's just that a lot of you guys don't know where to go to see the money that's flowing into those particular companies. You don't know anything about market cap and real value behind those assets. And that's something that I like to teach, especially if you want to get that millionaire mindset and to join this millionaire challenge. All right, so we have a couple of people that are on. Everybody knows that I'm on TikTok now, and I'm doing a lot of lives every single day, teaching people how to view the market through the eyes of a real guru, not a fake guru, not somebody who read a book a month ago and now is an expert, someone who put the time and the effort into it, someone who's done thousands of consultations with you. So I actually know what your issues are, someone who made all the mistakes that you guys made, but I made them 15 years ago. And I'm trying to teach you guys what to look for, right? And how to do it, right? I'm conservative and aggressive at the same damn time. I'm conservative and aggressive at the same damn time. I can talk to a wealth planner and understand exactly what they mean about having your foundation in place, by having a house, by having insurance policies, having health insurance, putting stuff in a 401k and an IRA. But then I'm also ignorant, and I'm going to take 10% of my earnings and I'm going to buy all of these asset classes, all of these meme stocks that everybody is getting rich off of. I'm aggressive and conservative at the same damn time. And a lot of you guys can't do that, right? You're either one or the other. And I teach you how to be conservative, how I teach you how to grow wealth slowly. I teach you how to grow wealth, you know, um, by swing trading. And then I also teach you how to gain wealth by creating a small business for yourself where you can earn a salary getting in and out of the market every single day if you want to. A lot of you guys just don't have that you don't have that skill set yet, which is why the stock market seems like it's this casino to you. Because if you come into the market and you don't know how to read charts or know what the fundamentals are, or know what market cap is, or this, that, and the other, you are gambling. Like, you actually are gambling. But if I was to go into if I go into the restaurant business and I don't know how to deal with the equipment to make the food, or if I don't have a plan on how to get this food out to people, like during COVID, a lot of restaurants that were able to grab, restaurants that quickly got on board with Uber Eats or DoorDash, those restaurants survived after COVID. A lot of those restaurants that were like, no, we're still about people coming in and eating. You guys don't know where the food business is going to. Nobody is really going into restaurants or stores anymore to eat their favorite food. They're going on Uber Eats, and they will pay an extra $10 just to have it delivered to them. Right. So you got to be able to change with the times. All right. So we got enough people on. So let me go ahead and start. Again, I'm on TikTok. I'm doing lives all the freaking time. I'm doing lives every single day. And while I'm building my business on TikTok, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to do a couple of challenges. I'm going to do a 30-day challenge starting November the 1st. I'm going to do another 30-day challenge starting on December the 1st. And then I'm going to start the Millionaire Challenge at the beginning of the year. If you don't understand how to buy stocks or pull up a Yahoo Finance page and be able to analyze a stock in 1 minute, this is the place to be. If you don't have the capital and you're getting discouraged because of all these 10 and 15 and $20,000 classes where people are getting lucrative off teaching you guys mediocre, not even teaching you guys the fundamentals. They're going to teach you the most advanced stuff that's out there and never taught you, beta and market cap and support and resistance lines and trend lines and VIX. And that's where all the education comes from. If you know the foundations of the market, you don't even need all that other stuff. So, I'm trying to make trading and investing fun again. I'm one of those personalities that don't really give a hell. So I can come into the market, wear whatever, say whatever, and I'm going to continue to make money in the market, whether you're here or not. I can either have one person in the room where I'm teaching and I'm helping that person convert their minds over to becoming a millionaire, or I can have hundreds. It really doesn't matter to me. That's not my focus anymore. As long as I put out my, as long as I give the way that I've been giving over the last couple of years, I should be fine. So I am a full-time day trader. For those, if this is your first time coming on, I am the real deal. My name is Joel Harrison. I am a full-time day trader, and this is what I do on an everyday basis. I'm an expert in stocks, options, futures, and cryptocurrency. I have over 15 years, over 30,000 hours of trading and investing experience. So I'm a gem. I am a unicorn. I'm one of the few people that are not only going to show you what to do, but I'm going to tell you what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and I'm going to be as transparent as I can. I can't be as transparent as I used to because you got ignorant folks out there that are literally looking for people to rob and steal and do all that other BS, right? So I talk in percentages. A lot of the times when I'm buying and trading stuff, I'll tell you guys if I'm buying a quarter or a half position, and then I'll tell you what percentage I'm up or down, right? So that's as transparent as I'm going to try to be. All right. And anything that we talk about today are the opinions. I'm sorry, I was terrible in grammar class. Anything that we talk about today are the opinions of Joel Harrison. I want you guys to do your due diligence. All right. Again, if you're not part of TikTok, you guys are missing out. If you have a how-to business and you're not doing it on TikTok, you are missing out. Instagram and all those other particular platforms were great years ago before it started to take off. But now it's almost impossible to get your face out there in front of a lot of people to be able to sell any type of products that you have. So now that TikTok seems to not be going away, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't jump on it, because I thought it was going to go away and it was going to get banned. So why am I going to spend all of my time on it? So now everybody is ramping up and jumping back on board again, now that we know that it's not going away. And they are going to change the algorithm if they haven't done it already, so that you can grow. A lot of people that are getting in right now can grow gradually, and they can grow the right way in that particular community. But if you have a how to anything, and mine is how to buy stocks, or the Millionaire Challenge, this is the place to be. And they pay out every Wednesday. So, my first week that I was on TikTok, I was able to get a check. It wasn't for anything, but I had made more money on TikTok in 7 days than I had in 10 years on all the other platforms as far as doing lives, right? Of course, I make money off of my products. If you don't know about my products, you can go to this particular page, all right, that you see there. All right, I'll make it big so that you guys can see it. All right, but if you go there, you can find my video courses. So anything that we're talking about today that may confuse you, you can go there and you can, purchase these mini classes so that you can catch up so that by January 1st, you'll be able to take part in the Millionaire Challenge. Now, listen, guys, I'm going to teach you guys everything for free for the next 60 days on TikTok, starting in November 1st and December 1st. So I know a lot of you guys want to jump start it so that you can learn it and then come back, but this is where you go. And then I'm going to refresh every single course that I have next year. So anything that you guys see there, this is probably the last time you guys are going to see it up until about next year. And then I'm going to refresh everything once we start the Millionaire Challenge. All right. I did create a GPT. And I encourage a lot of you guys to do it as well. Hold on, let me pull my face back up. But you can go to my GPT. How many traders created a GPT that was created for you guys, right? I created it for you so that if you have any questions regarding the market, you can ask. You can literally put the stock in that particular. You can put that stock into, and it's called Ask Joel GPT. You can ask that particular GPT anything you want about the market, and all the special tools that I use, you'll be able to, it will be able to spit out an answer similar to what I would have given you guys. I have suspended my consultations. Y'all know I've done thousands of consultations, and I've suspended those consultations until after the Millionaire Challenge next year because I am building my business on TikTok. But you can go here and watch a lot of my free videos. I don't care what social media platform you go to. All you got to do is type, Joel, how can I find you? I mean, what would Joel do? Like, if you can't find me, then that's on you. All right, because I'm the easiest person to find on any of these particular platforms because it's the same thing and it's consistent across them all, except for one platform where they call me Joel, the Ninja Trader. All right. Everybody knows about my community, my biggest community. If you don't know about my biggest community, you want to ask around. All right. But that community has over 30,000 members. I'm trying to bring that community over to TikTok. A lot of the stuff that I'm gonna show you today is going to be from the Charles Schwab account. I am not getting paid for this. So if you're interested and wondering why my charts look better than most people that you see, this is what I'm using. If you open up an account, guys, you get the charts for free. So it doesn't cost no monthly fee, or you don't have to have a certain amount of money in your accounts. Just open up the account. You get access to the tools, you download it. And then I also have a video that's going to help you make your charts look like mine. All right. And if you go to that particular, which is payhip.com/whatwouldjoel do, you'll be able to find those videos where you're able to, like I said, make your charts look like mine. Find me. And you can find all this stuff through the What Would Joel Do app. So if you have an Android device or a iOS device, you can go onto that particular device, download my app, the What Would Joel Do app. And then all of the different links, I created that app so that you can have a one-stop shop where you can go to. Now, I'm going to try to create that on TikTok if TikTok allows me. I'm trying to let TikTok know I'm trying to do all of my business there. So, you guys gotta keep me up to date on what I can and can't sell, or what I can or can't do on the platform, because I'm only 10 days in on TikTok. I opened up an account probably, I don't know, years ago, just to be cool and follow my kids, and I didn't do anything. And then just recently, my aunt came over, and my aunt Harriet, and she explained everything to me, and it was at the right time because I was going to do these. I was thinking to myself, how can I refresh and do something that's fun and refreshing again, where I can give back? So it's the perfect time for me to be able to do these 30-day challenges, because I've been saying I'm going to be doing these 30-day challenges for like years. So I'm finally going to be able to do it. I can take it off my to-do list, and hopefully I can help a lot of you guys get on the right page of trading and investing. All right, so again, I always show receipts, and I want you guys to start doing this too. If you decide that you want to get educated by someone, I don't care what they have behind their name, right? I don't care if they're elite. I don't care if they're of royalty. I don't care if they have a, a doctorate or a master's or a law degree. Like, I get it. We're all educated people, Black people, other people. We're all great. We're all intelligent. But just because you're intelligent does not mean that you can trade the market. Guys, I do thousands of consultations with wealthy people all the time. And let me tell you, they have no idea how to make money in the market, right? And a lot of them just decide they want to teach off of their name. And it kills me, because I'm like, education does not mean you're going to be a great trader or an investor. So you got to be able to show receipts. I'm able to do it both. I'm educated, right? I'm confident in what I do. I'm transparent in what I do. And then I show you guys a lot of the different things that I'm buying and what I'm doing with it. Right. And I do that for a reason, because don't box me in with any, Joel, you're kind of similar to this trader or this teacher. No, nobody is like me, because nobody is going to do everything. Right. They're going to give you a little. They're either going to show one side and then not show this side, or they're going to show you all these receipts, but then don't show you strategy. They're going to show you strategy, but not going to show you receipts. They're going to educate you, but they're never going to show receipts. They're going to show receipts and then not tell you how they got it, right? I'm not going to do that for you guys. I'm going to talk through the process. And most of you guys, I don't even have to explain it anymore. If I'm in something like Bitcoin or SoFi or Curaleaf or NVIDIA, you guys know exactly why. I don't even have to teach anymore. I can have, somebody come on, or you guys because once you learn the fundamentals, you can believe, like, I can literally listen to people and tell if they're talking BS or not, or of their understanding of the market, because I'm an actual trader and investor. So I'm able to see the bullshit. I'm able to say, oh, okay, they're just BSing these cats, or BSing those cats, or just making money off doing classes because it's lucrative. Like, if I charge 10 people $10,000 and I make $100,000, why would I have to even trade or invest? Right. So, it can be lucrative, but what you're ending up doing is you're teaching them the market, but you're not actually really teaching them how to make money. You're just teaching them something that's advanced. And I see so many people doing that, because, you got options, futures, crypto, right? I can teach forever on a lot of these different subjects. But did you guys come here to make money? Or did you come here to get educated? Some of you guys are spending money just so that you can have the knowledge. Man, I want to know how it feels to be a day trader. I want to learn everything about it, but you don't want to trade, and that's fine. Some people just love the education behind it. They love in their brains knowing that if somebody comes to them and asks them how to, place a limit order or market order, or, take an options, what is an option or what is not an option, or what's a futures and what's not a futures, they feel great about that, because, as an educator, you want people to come to you, and it's whatever that thing is that brings you joy. But just let people know that, when I go to these Ivy League schools, right, and you have these professors of business, right, and I don't want to shit on any of them, right? But a lot of them, look down on you because they're so educated in the way that they're teaching a class. But then you say, all right, well, what you've done in your life to be a Harvard, business school teacher, right? And they'll just be living a very modest life, there's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of people are listening to them so that they can become financially dependent. They want to make millions, billions of dollars, right? But then you're talking to someone who's never done that, right? And I just said Harvard. I didn't mean to put Harvard out there or Yale out there. I'm just throwing out, since Harvard Business is like one of the biggest, institutions out there for business. I didn't mean to crap on it. I have dozens of friends that's gone to Harvard that are very legitimate in the world that they live in. But I'm just giving you guys ideas. You guys should start vetting the people that you're talking to. All right, you got strategy. All right, these are the things I should be buying. What have you done? Right? Like, why should I be listening to you? And I want you guys to start doing that. All right. At least that's what I do. Like, even when it comes to golf, like, unless you can shoot better than me in golf, it's going to be real hard for me to take advice from somebody that's shooting in the 90s or the hundreds. Like, I'm not going to really listen to you. Like, unless your statistics are better than mine, I'm just going to be like, yeah, okay. But if I see you shoot a 70 something, or if I see you really pounding the ball, I might listen to what you got to say. I'm just like that in this, in my life right now. I'm just at that point where I can't waste my time hearing things that I don't want to listen to. All right, so is that the first 30 minutes? Y'all know the first 30 minutes I just be going on and on and on. So let's go ahead and get to you guys' questions and your stocks. All right, I always got to promote myself out there because that's what business is all about. And believe it or not, guys, I hate doing it. Right? I wish I could just come on, show you guys' stocks, but then I get the questions with Joel, how do we find this and how do we find that? Because y'all want me to literally flash everything with the link so that you guys can go to it. And that's fine. I know I want to make everything easy for you guys. But let's get to some of you guys' questions. Let's go ahead and switch this out. Let's change the format. And let's get to some of you guys' questions. I think I can go here, take that off. Great. I'm going to make myself go down here at the bottom. All right. So we're looking at the S&P. Well, we're looking at Apple right now. So I put out a post that's doing really well on TikTok, and it's Apple. I hear so many people come into the market and they say to themselves, the stock market is so hard, Joel. I'm losing so much money in the market. And I'm like, okay, well, let's look at the history of Apple. Now, looking at this chart right here, does this chart look like Apple was a hard? Now, mind you, you guys are looking at a chart from 2006, right? You're looking at 19 years worth of Apple. For 19 years, you've been scared of the market. For 19 years, Apple's been going pretty much in a straight line up in price. Apple became a household name. Everybody knows about Apple. Apple hit an all-time high yesterday. It hit an all-time high the day before. But yet, the stock market is hard for you. Well, the problem is you're not actually following money. And I want you guys to think about that. When you come into the stock market basically means money, right? If I want to make money, shouldn't I follow the largest things or the companies that are making the most money? That's that theory that I told you guys where you guys got to stop listening to thousandaires. Thousandaires are not going to make you any money. Thousandaires will make you $1,000, but thousandaires ain't going to make you millions. They're not going to make you into a billionaire because thousandaires are scared. Thousandaires don't know how to get to the promised land. If you want to make billions, you got to watch billion-dollar companies do their thing. You got to see billion-dollar companies turn into trillion-dollar companies, because if a billion-dollar company can turn into a trillion-dollar company and it can add 3 zeros, that means whatever you had invested in it when it was a billion-dollar company will add 3 zeros to whatever you're doing. It's really simple math that most of you guys just don't understand yet, because A, you don't even know what market cap is. Market cap literally is how you make money in the market. I hear so many of you guys talk about Apple's $259. Apple is I never know what Apple's stock price is, ever. Y'all know that? If you ask me what Apple's stock price was yesterday, I'll be like, I don't know, but it hit $4 trillion. Why? Why don't I care about stock price? Because stock price is an illusion. It's been an illusion forever. It's an illusion to make you think, because that's what uh I don't want to say ignorant, uneducated minds see, and they prey on that. The Apple shareholders want the Apple stock price to stay under $1,000, because if you really knew how much Apple was worth, you wouldn't buy it. Because everyone knows that if you buy Apple right now with $1,000, you're not going to become a millionaire. You're just not. I'm sorry, you missed it. And most people are like, Joel, why are you so negative? Anything can happen. No, it actually can't happen. There's not enough money on the planet that will allow your $100 or $1,000 to be worth $1,000,000, because in order for that to happen, Apple's market cap has to add another 3 zeros, and that ain't happening. Its market cap is already 4 trillion. It's got to be a $400 trillion company in order for you to be rich. So what do? They make the stock price look like it's cheap, and then they tell you it's the best company in the world, so you feel like I can be rich too. Look at what Joel did. Yeah, but Joel bought Apple back when it was $100 billion or a $200 billion company. Let's do the math. If a company is even a 400 billion market cap company, and it goes from 400 billion to 4 trillion, right? Y'all see the difference? If it grows from 400 billion to 4 trillion, you make 10 times your money. That means if I had 100,000 invested in it, that's the only way I was going to become a millionaire, because it went from 400 billion to 4 trillion. It added it went up 10 times its value. So I added a zero. So that means whatever you had invested in it, $100,000, you add another zero. And now that's how you make your $1 million. I know this math problem for you guys are like, yeah, Joel, I knew that. That's easy, but y'all are not approaching the market that way. You guys have unrealistic goals. Your goals are to make this amount of money with this little bit of money, but you invested in the wrong things. So then you got your individuals that think they're smart, and they say, well, I'm going to go buy penny stocks. If you're buying penny stocks, I'm going to make a comment, and my wife always tells me not to say this. If you buy penny stocks, you're basically a loser. You're going to lose all your money, all of it, every last bit of it, because the stock market, the reason why you guys think it's a casino is because you're like, I can't get rich, because you do get a little bit educated. I can't get rich buying stuff like Apple, but I can get rich buying stuff like these penny stocks because so-and-so put it in that stock and then they made a little bit of money. Or you guys think crypto, y'all know cryptocurrencies aren't penny stocks. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, they're not penny stocks, guys. If you looked at the market cap, the definition of a penny stock is a company or an asset that's less than $1 billion in market cap. I'm going to say that again. The definition of a penny stock is an asset or a company that's less than $1 billion in market cap. If you look up the market cap for Dogecoin, you're going to be surprised that it's worth 40 or 50 billion dollars. And you're like, huh? This little penny, but Joel, it only costs a penny. So doesn't that make it a penny stock? No, it's not a penny stock. It's an illusion. It's an illusion to make you think that these 0.0001 coins is going to be worth 1,000, because y'all will do the math. Well, hold up. If a Dogecoin is only 0.0001 and I buy 1,000,000 of them, if it gets to $1, that means I make $1 million. If it gets to $10, I make 10 million. If it goes to 100, I make 100 million. No, that's not. I mean, that's how it works. But if the company is already a $40 billion company at 0.00001, then at 0.0001, it's going to be worth 400 billion. And then at 0.001, it's going to be worth 4 trillion. By the time it gets worth $1, and I'm just throwing a number out there, it's going to be like a 400 trillion or a quadrillion dollar company or asset. There's not even that much money on the earth for that Doji coin to go to $100 a coin, but y'all steadily buying it every month. One day it's gonna go. Joel, you just being negative. One day it's gonna go to 100, or because you ain't learned market cap and you losing money, and then now you think the stock market's a casino. It's not a casino. You just don't understand math, and then you get mad at me when I'm like, you realize what you're doing, or when a fifth grader comes to you, because this is what I'm teaching them, and they're like, Mom, you realize that Dogecoin is a $50 billion company. It's probably never going to $100. So why are you putting all of your money into it? Right. And then you feel like a fool because you're like, oh, I never learned market cap. I took a $15,000 class, and not one time did they ever teach me that this is actually where you make your money. Right. I hear the horror stories. I understand why you guys can't make money, because the stock market, the visuals of it is created to fool you. It's they put the stock price out there thinking that it's cheap. So a lot of you guys won't buy Apple. You'll go buy Ford because Ford is $10 a share. Or let's see what Ford is, right? Ford right now is a $12 stock. Now, Ford has been doing well just recently, but do y'all know Ford's been going down for 20 years? But Joel, the F-150 was the best-selling vehicle on the planet. Everybody has an Apple phone. Ford's only $15. Apple's $200. I can buy more shares of Ford. I hear the horror stories. That's why you can't make money in the stock market, because you're smart and you're educated and you have a lot of common sense, but you're using it the wrong way. All right. So yes, you want it like 30% of what you said was right. You guys want to find a small cap company that has growth potential and stop looking at the stupid stock price. The stock price don't, guys, it don't even matter no more. I can go on Robinhood right now and buy $10 worth of Apple. I can buy $20 worth of Ford if I want to. The share price don't mean crap. I don't care if it's $12 or 12. Ford can be $12,000 a share. And if it only has a $10 billion market cap, and I think that it can grow to 100 billion, and I think it can grow 10 times its value, I'm going to put my money into it. So where are you guys going to find that market cap? Well, that's what I'm going to teach you guys, right? You guys should be able to analyze a stock in 1 minute. You guys should be able to go to Yahoo Finance. Let's go to Yahoo Finance right now. You guys should be able to go to Yahoo Finance. Watch how fast I do this. Let's look. The clock says 11:20. I think 11:38. I think. Yeah, it's 11:38. Watch this. Watch how fast I analyze. Watch how fast I analyze Ford. And I just wasted like 15 seconds, right? So I'm going to go to yahoofinance.com. I'm going to quickly pull up Ford. I'm just going to type Ford. Even if I don't know the ticker symbol, I'm going to sit here. I'm going to pull up Ford. I'm on Yahoo Finance. I'm going to quickly go down here. I see that Ford's $12 a stock. It's down 1% today. But I'm going to go down here and look at how big the market cap is. Ford is $49 billion in size. A lot of you guys are like, well, what does that mean, Joel? What does 49 billion mean? That means, do they split all of that money for you? No, that's actually, I'm going to start telling people the market cap is the stock price. The market cap is the stock price. Stop looking at the stock price. The market cap is the stock price. That means if I put $50 into Ford and it's at $50 billion, well, if it goes to $100 billion, my $50 goes to $100. Y'all get it, right? If Ford's market cap goes from 50 billion to 200 billion, my $50 goes to $200. This is where you make your money. I don't give a damn about the share price. I don't care. I don't care how many shares I got. I got one Bitcoin, guys, and I made more money off of one Bitcoin than most of you guys did this whole year. And it was $50,000 when I bought it last year. I bought a full Bitcoin for $50,000. It's now worth 118. Okay. So I'm up $68,000 on that. I don't care what the stock price is. I could have put $5,000 in Bitcoin and my $5,000 would be worth 18. I could have put $500 into Bitcoin when it was at $50,000 and now it'll be worth $1,800. Quit looking at the stock price. Stock price is an illusion. Stop doing it. It's going to lose you money in the market. What matters is the market cap. Some of you guys don't even know what the market cap of Bitcoin is. Y'all like, oh my God, Bitcoin is snake oil. It's not worth anything. Well, the devil is a lie because the market cap of Bitcoin is 2 trillion. You think $2 trillion worth of money is something that's going to go away? You've been bamboozled by your thousandaire uncle or aunt who told you not to invest in it because Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan said, now if a bank is competing with an asset class that people said was going to take over money one day, are you really going to listen to the competition? Right? Like, why would they say good things about something? That would put them out of work. But you guys are using common sense. Well, Jamie Dimon, they said that he runs the Illuminati and the Illuminati runs everything. So I should listen to them. And then y'all don't even realize they're creating a whole blockchain system within the bank. They telling you one thing in your face, and then they creating a blockchain, on this side because they don't want you to realize and understand what they're doing behind closed doors. You guys are getting bamboozled. When you start seeing real money flow into something, let's pull up Dogecoin because y'all didn't believe me when I was talking about Dogecoin. Dogecoin has a freaking $29 billion market cap. And y'all still buying this mug hands over fist. So I guess it wasn't 0.001. I think Shiba Inu was like 0.00001, the other dog coin. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't make money on Dogecoin. It just means your dreams of it going to $50,000 is just not realistic. It's a $29 billion asset. You can call it a coin or an asset. If it goes to 100 billion, whatever you have invested can grow 4 times its value. Even if it went to 2.9 trillion, which is the same value that Bitcoin is right now, that'll take this up to about a $19 coin. Because all I did was I pulled over 2 decimals. So if I take 2 decimals over and I make this a $2.9 trillion asset, that means whatever I have invested in it can add about 2 zeros if it ever equaled the same value as Bitcoin. But is that going to really happen? It can grow, but in order for that to happen, Bitcoin probably has to grow, 10 times its value. So maybe when Bitcoin hits everybody thinks that it can hit $20 trillion one day, which is 10 times its value from where it is. Maybe this can be worth 290 billion. Maybe it can get to $1 trillion, but I think it maxes out at like $1 trillion, right? Anyway, that's just my thoughts within the next, 15 to 20 years. All right. So let me get to some of you guys' questions and comments. So some questions that are coming in. Get Fit said, I'm excited for the challenge. Yeah, everybody, like, does everyone not want to be a millionaire? Right? And if you want to be a millionaire, the easiest way to become a millionaire, I always tell people the fastest way to $1 million, guys, is not making $50,000 a year for 20 years. $50,000 a year for 20 years, yeah, it will equal $1 million one day. Oh, well, not one day, it just will, right? The fastest way to $1 million, guys, is this. So the fastest way to $1 million, guys, is flipping money. It's making 100% returns over and over again. Excuse me, and that's what the challenge is all about. It's about flipping 1,000. Let's do the math. It's taking excuse me, $1,000. If I flip that, let's say I buy, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it in options, because there's 100% return being made in a lot of these stocks every single day, right? So if you really want to get there quickly, you probably want to learn how to trade options. If you want to take the slow route, like there's stocks that grow 100% in 1 year, right? It might take you, or 1 month, it might take you 11 or 12 months to do it. But the fastest way to do it is to take $1,000. If once you get to 1,000, what I want you guys to do when we start the challenge is, I don't want anybody to start with anything more than $1,000, right? So if you have $100, if you had $10, I don't care. Start with the $10, because I'm going to teach you guys how to change the way that you count, right? So if we go from 1,000 and we double it, that's 2,000. 2,000, we double it, that's 4,000. 4,000, we double it, is 8, 16, 32. That's usually the hardest place to get to. And that's only 5 nice trades, right? Who can't make 5 great trades in a row? The average really, really good trader that's out there like myself will win 75 to 80% of the time. In fact, they said that the market trends to the upside 80% of the time, and it goes sideways to down 20% of the time. So if you're following the right trends, you have an 80% chance of winning, right? So even if you were able to win 4 or 5 times in a row, and you quickly took $1,000, and then you made $2,000, and then you took another great trade, and it went from 2,000 to 4, and then 4 to 8, then 8 to 6, then 6 to 6. 1 to 2, 2 to 4, right? 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32. In 5 trades, you're already at 32,000. That number for a lot of us, it hits different, right? Because once you have about 10 stacks or $32,000 in your account, your bills start calling, right? Those bills or things in your home that you've been pushing back, right? All right, I needed a new roof. I need a new car, right? Tuition. I need to pay tuition soon. That's a nice down payment on a house, right? A lot of the times we will spend that money, right? And then we'll spend that money, and then we'll start over again, and we'll go 1,000, 2,000, 4, 8, 16, 32. And then you'll have something else that you have to pay for, right? So a lot of us get stuck once we get to 5 figures. Then once you get to 5 figures, just think about it. Let's say you're at 32. You're very close to getting to $1 million. You go 32 to 64, 64 to 128, 128 to 256, 256 to 512, 512. This is the hardest. The 500,000 to $1 million. Oh my God. Y'all remember a couple of years ago when we hit that value, right? And it was very hard, because you're like, yo, I'm not about to risk. It's like deal or no deal. I ain't about to risk $500,000 on one trade, right? So what do we end up doing? We probably diversify it. We try to protect it. We're like, well, I can now take that 500, and then, if I just make 10% on it every year, in 10 years, that 500 will hit $1 million, right? So, a lot of the times we get stuck. So what I try to teach people how to do is think of it like houses. Like, stop trying to make one account go to $1 million. Get this account to 50. Try it again. Have several accounts that's got 50 or 20 or 10 or 100 in it. And then all of a sudden it becomes easy to get to that mill, because something will just start running. That $10,000 investment you had in NVIDIA all of a sudden just runs to $1 million, right? But I can't do it if I don't have any money, or if I don't have any skin in the game, right? So the challenge is not only changing the way that you view the market, but how you're going about doing it. Setting up different accounts once you hit different milestones. And then all of a sudden it starts to steamroll, and then you look up and you're like, damn, we're like millionaires. And I'm gonna tell you guys, when you become millionaires, it ain't gonna feel like it. You're gonna feel like you're still in the rat race. You're gonna feel like nothing in your life is going to change. The only thing that changes is you're like, all right, I did it. So now I want to make 10. And then if you can get to that $10 million mark, you're gonna be like, well, dang, if I did that, I can probably get to 100. A lot of the times your lifestyle is not going to change. My lifestyle is no different than my friends that, my lifestyle is no different than it was 10 or 15 years ago. The only thing that's different is, yeah, I might drive a nicer car. I might go to my vacations are a little bit more extravagant, right? My Christmas gifts are a little bit more posh, right? You can go to a restaurant and not care about the cost on the menu. You just order what you want, right? But nobody can just look and say, oh, that person's a millionaire or that person's a millionaire. Now, when you come in contact with billionaires, it's a difference, right? They live a totally different lifestyle. They operate differently. Right, they're not going to be at restaurants. So I always tell people, the average person that you see on an everyday basis, believe it or not, a lot of people are already millionaires. They just don't, in your mind, you always thought that a millionaire, or once you had a million in your pocket, you were going to be living this way or living that way. And the fact of the matter is you're really going to remain about the same. The only thing that changes is maybe your next goals. And again, you'll see things that are different. Like I said, some things you will buy freely, right? But for the most part, a lot of us still remain humble, right? Because we're like, I still can't retire, right? Even if I retired, let's say I made $1 million and I didn't want to work again. Okay, I'm still fairly young, so even if I cut that up in 20 pieces, can I really live off of $50,000 a year for the next 20 years? Some of us can. But with inflation and with the cost of everything going up in value, is that even really real? Right. So you guys got to start changing the way that you think about the market. All right, let me get to you guys' comments. The only reason I'm going on and on and on because I don't see too many comments coming in. All right. So let me get to everybody's questions. All right. Andrew said, good morning, Jay. Good morning, Andrew. Get Fit said, hey, I'm excited for the challenge. Dennis Clark says, morning, Joel. I might lose connection here because of the mill I work at, but I'm wondering about your thoughts on a crypto related company over the next year called Hut. All right. So anytime I get a stock tip, guys, just like this, right, I immediately go on a GPT. So let's go to a GPT and let's ask about Hut, right? And then I also look up and see if it has a market cap. Now, what I love about ChatGPT is you can literally ask it, what is Hut, the crypto, and what is the market cap? I don't care about the price. Y'all notice I don't care about stock prices. And that's not because I can afford it. It's just because stock price is an illusion. What is Hut, the crypto, and what is the market cap? All right. So for you guys that are on TikTok, go ahead and you see this heart that's up here. Go ahead and heart me and kind of give me some hearts on my page so they can send me out. Since I'm giving you guys all this free information, y'all could help a brother out a little bit. And for you guys that are trying to monetize your platform, this is you guys are learning the best way to do it, right? You have your how-to videos, but you got to get some interactions from the community. So this says Hut is a company that mines Bitcoin. It hosts mining infrastructure, provides services. It is sized in terms of equity market cap, not crypto market cap. All right, so it says that they report it to be worth about $5 billion. Okay, that's important, guys, because 5 billion is not a lot of money. 1 billion is how you get looked at in the stock world. Once your company is worth $1 billion, most of the time you won't be on what they call pink sheets. If you ever watch the Wolf of Wall Street, they talk about pink sheets all the time. This guy got really, really rich off of selling these stocks off of these pink sheets because a lot of the times the companies were fraudulent And that's why I always tell people, if you're buying penny stocks, you're a loser. You basically say, I want to lose all my money. Because if Wall Street's not buying those companies, why should you be buying it, right? If the billionaires and the millionaires that run this whole freaking universe are not buying these companies that are less than $1 billion, what makes you think you smarter than them? And that's ego. Oh, I am smarter than them. I got a degree in this, that, and other. Okay, lose all your money, right? I've been there, done that, right? So it's a $5 billion company. $1 billion is a baby in the stock world. 5 billion is considered a small cap company. That's where you get rich. You get rich off of buying small cap and mid cap companies that can grow to a large cap or a mega cap company. You want that $10 billion company to grow to $100 billion so that your $10,000 can be worth $100,000 or your $500 can be worth $5,000. I don't care what the stock price is. And so, so if you're interested in a company like this, you want to make sure that in that particular space that, if it's in the crypto space and it's and it involves itself with mining, do a lot more research on it, right? But it's saying that it's $38 a share, at a $5 billion market cap. What I would add is, hey, what, companies that are in mining in the crypto space, what's the largest company? Right. And then when ChatGPT pulls up what that company is, now you have something that you can compare it to, because maybe the biggest mining company on the planet is only worth $20 billion. Right. So if this company is worth 5 and it's competing with the largest, that's 20, then it has some room to grow. Or you watch the largest company, and as that large company grows, it'll pull up companies like this in value. Not the Now, guys, when the market cap grows, the share price grows also. But I don't want you guys focusing on a $5 or a $3 or a $1 share price. Again, I don't care if it was $1,000 a share, right? If that market cap can grow, that's where you're going to make money in the market. Okay. I want you guys to understand that. Great question. Shamika, the best travel agent on the planet. She basically planned our trip to Maldives, and hopefully she can plan our trip to Africa. But she says, good morning, cruising the Mexican Riviera with the group, and we are watching this together. Well, I appreciate that you have everybody watching this particular live so that you can listen, guys. They are cruising the Mexican Riviera and they're learning how to buy stocks. Like I said before, I don't care if I got 2 people on or 2 million people on, right? It doesn't matter. I already know that only 10% of people that's getting this knowledge is going to make 90% that's out there. So I expect the numbers to be small and the rest of the people to be listening to all these other people tell them how to make money. The other 90% can go on YouTube, go down the rabbit hole, go take a $30,000 class here or there. Here's where the real knowledge is, because I'm giving it to you for free. And I'm showing you guys the process that I go to for free, right? While I'm trying to monetize my TikTok platform, because I haven't figured that out yet. Darnell Addison said, he said, good morning, which is good afternoon here in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm from Decatur, where it's greater, if you guys didn't know that. Dennis Clark says, Shamika, I'll bet it's a little bit warmer where you are than myself this morning. It's -4 degrees. Where are you calling from, Dennis? You said it's -4 degrees where you are? That's freaking crazy. But you're getting that knowledge and that's all that matters. Let me pull up a chart while these questions are up there so that you can see stocks in real time. Let's just keep Apple up there. Y'all see how it's $260 and it's just going back and forth. I want you guys to understand that. Tim says PFE 6 months to 1 year. So what Tim has learned in this business, and I hate calling people students, never taken a class. I don't like for people to say, I don't want anybody looking at, I know I call myself what would Joel do, right? And it's my name is in the Bible and it's biblical and blase blase and it's from what would Jesus do and all this, that, and the other. But I don't want to, like, I don't want that label of being like a disciple or a teacher or an educator. I just want y'all to be like Joel the trader, Joel, my friend that I trade with, Joel that I like. I'd rather be looked at in that space and call me the guru. Like I don't want to look down on anybody because that's not why I'm here. I'm here to educate because I don't know everything on the planet. I do this so that you guys can help me in the things that I don't know. I don't know every stock that's out there. I really don't. Uh-oh, hold on. Hold on. TikTok was trying to end my live. No, 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 no. Don't end my live. Anyway, so I want you guys to help me out too. We talk about stocks. We come into the room, have the questions come in. I can analyze it. That's my skill set. My skill set is analyzing it, knowing what to look for, seeing if it's a great investment or trade. So Tim says, hey, let's look at Pfizer. So PFE is Pfizer, 6 months to 1 year. So you guys, it's gonna cut off on TikTok if you guys are not like uh hitting the hearts or hitting the page so that those hearts can go up there, or if you guys can go up top and uh grab that what is that, the heart. Anyway, so let's look up Pfizer. So Pfizer, if we were looking at the 200-day moving average, Pfizer's 200-day moving average is angled down. So we haven't really been loving Pfizer at all, right? Because I teach that when the 200-day is angled down, you don't want to be around. If the 200-day is angled down, you don't want to be around. So I didn't want to be around Pfizer. I tried to get so many clients to stop buying Pfizer. Stop buying it, stop buying it, stop buying it until we see a 200-day moving average that's angled up. We don't see that. This means that money is coming out of the market. Guys, why do I want to buy something where the money is flowing out of it? I know it seems like it's at a low price, but the average is telling you what to do. If you were to just go strictly by this blue line, you would have saved yourself so much money. Look, check this out. When the 200-day is angled up, it increases your luck. Y'all see that? The 200-day started to go up in Pfizer in 2020. So you could have made money all the way up until the 200-day started to angle down. And then you didn't want to be around, but y'all still wanted to buy it in 2022. I kept saying the 200-day is angled down. Y'all going to lose some money. Are y'all listening to me, or are y'all listening to somebody who works there who's telling you all of these different products just because they work at the company and they're telling you about all these great things that's happening? And you see on TV that they're going to create this and they're going to create that. Y'all don't think the billionaires already have that information? Y'all swear y'all smarter than the billionaires that are out there that actually move the market. That's why you have to use your charts to tell you if it's real or not. Yeah, that information is always great to have. So what I usually do is if I know that there's some great information that can give a stock a catalyst to go up, I hold on to that. But Joel ain't buying it until everybody start buying it. They can tell me all day long that they have a car that can fly and not use any water. That doesn't mean I'm going to invest in that company today. That doesn't even mean that I'm going to buy that car. But once I start seeing everybody else buy it, and then I say to myself, oh, there's only about 1,000 cars on the road, and they just got another order for 10,000 more cars, and there's a back order for these cars. You can't even buy them unless you wait out another 6 months. That's the catalyst that's sending that company up. Until I see something like that, I'm not going to buy the company. So you could have in 2022, when the 200-day started to angle down, Joel was like, bye-bye. I ain't even thinking about buying this company. It's not on my radar. It's one less headache. And look at what happened from 2022 all the way to now. I swear somebody pulls up Pfizer at least once every time I do a live. And every single time I say, if the 200 days angle down, Joel ain't going to be around. And I would have saved myself 4 years of headache. Now, can it be turning around now? Yeah, but guys, if you trade like this, I promise you, you're not going to be successful in the market. If you're going to trade something like this, then you want to make sure that you buy, you want to make sure that you know how to draw trend lines. And when you draw trend lines for Pfizer, once Pfizer starts to come down to that support area that you guys need to learn, then maybe you can take a shot at it. But the 200 days angle down, Joel ain't going to be around. Even if I look at the week chart, that's even worse. Guys, when you see a 200-day angle down, this is basically saying dummies come. This is like buying a penny stock. This is basically you're going to lose money. Anybody that doesn't know about moving averages, come on, go ahead and buy Pfizer because we're going to take your money because it's going down. It's going down. And it's going to keep going down because if a 4-year average of a stock starts to go down in price, and every single day the average price for it today is less than the average was 4 years ago, and it's not going up, it's going down. It's math, guys. It's a leak. It's something going on in the company where it's losing. I get if you're trying to take a shot here, but when the week chart is angled down, you just don't know how to invest or trade in the market. Right now, Tim said 6 months to 1 year. So he's not really looking at a long-term chart. He's looking at a day chart. And the day chart does look like, and I don't want to beat up on Tim because Tim is a very great individual. He interacts with the public. He puts out stuff. He puts out different options or stocks to maybe look at or analyze, right? So I can see why people are buying this, right? If you were using the what would Joel do method and you saw these 513 crosses, you can see these are areas where you're giving yourself a chance to be on the right side of a losing stock, right? But you want to beware. And all I would tell people to do is if we break this support level, that's when you know to get out of it. So if you decide you want to buy it at 24, when it gets to 23.5, get out. Look at it, wait until it turns back around, and then maybe get into that particular stock. But it looks like it's trying. You do have a series of higher highs, and by having a series of higher highs in Pfizer, that's going to give you a strong chance of making money from 6 months to 1 year, especially if you're trading options on it. All right. Desireen said, good morning, Joel. Melly as an investment, how would you assess it right now? And should I add more at this price? Okay. So Melly, guys, is Mercado Libre. Mercado Libre is the Latin Latin Amazon. Okay. So if you love e-commerce companies and if you love stuff like Amazon, then you're gonna love a company like Melly. So when you pull up Melly, what do we like to see? We like to see a 200-day moving average angled up because it increases your luck. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Y'all think this is where the smart traders are. The smart traders who know what an average is knows that when we reach the average, we should be buying. A lot of the times you guys can't catch lows because y'all can't read charts. Y'all are going off strict fundamentals and you're competing with people like me that are like, oh, a company like this that's great, that's going up in price, I'm not going to buy it here. I'm just going to buy it every time it hits this 200-day moving average. And that's what's happening right now. Now, what I don't like about it is the 200-day moving average. The highest price it has ever been was $26.45. So it is $600 less than its highest price. So if you're going to buy something like this, at least you got equity in the company. Now, the TTM squeeze is going green and it looks like it's kind of turning around, right? So if you're going to buy something like this, this is where you buy it. Why am I confident in this company? Well, because the week chart, which is what we look for multi years, is also angled up. That means the average price of the stock has been going up for 4 years. The average price of the 200-day chart is also going up. So it looks like every time it falls to about this price, it can go back up in price. Now, you do have some downside where if the market starts to sell off, this stock could drop to the $1,500 area. Okay. It could drop to this, $1,700 area, which is near this $1,500 area, right? So so basically, if you put $20 into it, it could drop to 15. If you got $2,000 in it, it could drop to 1,500. If you got 20,000 in it, it could drop to 15 grand. So you need to ask yourself, if it drops to 15 grand, am I still going to hold it? So to answer your question, if I was in this stock, I'm going to add to it if it drops. If it drops, to be honest, I would be adding to it here, but you do have some support down here at the 1,700 area. So what I like to do is I'm going to set an alert where it doesn't matter if I'm on the golf course, or if I'm on the beach, or if I'm at a real estate closing. I'm going to get an alert that Mercado Libre is at $1,700. I'm not going to know why until I pull up my charts. And then I'm going to ask myself, well, at $1,700, how high is that from its highs? Well, I would go to the highs. I would go down here to 1,700, and it says about a 34% drop. So I love buying stocks like Mercado Libre when they're 25% off or more. All right, 25% off or more. All right. So would I buy it here? Yeah, you can, but it could come all the way down to 1,500 or 1,700 and then 1,500. So you have to ask yourself, if it drops that much, are you going to buy more? The answer is, if you believe in e-commerce and this is the Latin American Amazon, then you keep buying those particular stocks. What's giving you the confidence? The 200-week and the 200-day moving average are all angled up. All right, cool. PSYD says, hi, please analyze ARM for a 1-year investment. All right, why do I love ARM Holdings? I love ARM Holdings because I love listening to billionaires and trillionaires. Well, trillionaire companies are buying. They're actually like, y'all know that companies can invest in other stocks, and a lot of times they will do that just so that these other companies won't surpass them, or they'll have some leverage over them. So ARM is one of my favorite because Nvidia is buying them. And there's a whole host of other companies that are buying them. Now, ARM is almost near its all-time highs. So all-time highs are at 188. We're at 167 right now. So there is $20 worth of equity. So at least if you buy it here, you at least got it $20 on sale from its highest price. Its 200-day moving average is sitting at $138, right? That's where I always love to buy. I either love to buy down here, or I love to buy when the volatility index is above 30, because that means that the selling is so rampant right now that most of the time anybody that's going to sell is probably out of that particular company. What I don't like about it is that it's already, at least on the day charts, done it. If you've been following me, you know that I look for 10-day trends, no matter, or 10 candle trends, no matter what chart you're looking at. And we've already done a 10 candle trend to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then it started to go down. That's normal. Stocks tend to trend up, come down about halfway, continue to go up, come back down about halfway, continue to go up in price. Depending on the chart that you're looking at, you're going to look for 10 candle trends. So even if I was in this particular trade, I would have said, why am I buying way up here when I know after about 10 candles it's going to reverse? Now, you're looking for a 1-year investment. So I'm probably going to look at a week chart and a day chart to kind of get a blend of that 1 year. And as you can see, we're almost at the highs already. So even if I was to hold this, it looks like it might chill at about 188 before it gets a catalyst where it can move higher. But in my opinion, well, you do have a upside down head and shoulders pattern. It looks like it maybe wants to hit its highs and then chill for a minute. So for a 1 year investment, if you're already in it, I would say hold on to it. If you haven't bought the stock yet, I would, in my opinion, hold off until we get a nice little sell off to this 200-day moving average, which is down here. Because this might break in value and then it might start going back up in value. So I like to see this pattern. Once it goes down and then it starts to come back up again, Joel will be in somewhere around the 145 area. Once it moved about 10 candles, I would have had a stop sitting here at 145 and then let that bad boy run. For you guys that don't know what ARM is, instead of, doing the research that you've been doing, you guys are simply going to go to some type of GPT that you pay $20 a month for, and you're going to say, what is ARM? What is the market cap? And why are people buying it? And, I don't listen to individuals anymore. And I get it. I get there's no thing out there that's 100% all the time. But I promise you, ChatGPT is way smarter than your uncle, than Uncle Ted, right? That thinks he knows everything. I'm sorry to say this, but Waze is smarter than your grandmother who lived in that city their whole life and know every street, but they don't know the traffic patterns. They don't know if there's a pothole here or there. They don't know if there's a police officer hanging behind this bush, right? And that's and that's why I always argue with old folks, even when we're driving around with navigation. Like, look, you don't know everything. Like, embrace the technology. I get sometimes it's wrong, but just because it's wrong one time doesn't mean that it's wrong all the time. It might have you might have took a you might have taken a turn and it took an extra 30 seconds for you to get to wherever you're going to. But so many of you guys want to be know-it-alls. Maybe there are things going on in your life where being right all the time is to validate your existence. I don't know what it is, but you guys got to start embracing the things out there that's going to be able to give you the information that you need. And a lot of you guys just won't embrace AI because you don't want to believe that you can get an edge on everybody by using it, or you don't want to stop using Google or Bing or Yahoo, and you just don't want another thing to learn how to do, right? But you guys got to get with the program if you're trying to make money, because you're competing with people like me. And if you're competing with people like me, that's a 1%er, you better watch what we doing. All right. What is ARM? ARM is a British semiconductor and software company headquartered in Cambridge, England, which I had no idea. I thought this was an American company that designs microprocessor cores and licenses its intellectual property to chip manufacturers and other companies like NVIDIA. So let's just ask it here. Is NVIDIA still invested? And let's see what ChatGPT says. Yes. Y'all see that? Yes, according to recent filings, NVIDIA, the largest company on the planet that you guys refuse to buy or listen to because you're listening to thousandaires, is buying this company, but you ain't buying it. I ain't buying it, Joel, because I want to go buy this penny stock over here. And I'm like, the largest company on the planet is buying this company, and you don't want to buy it. Okay. They reduced their stake about 1.8%. But after the reduction, they still own about 136,000 shares of the company. So if the largest company on the planet is buying it, then your butt should be buying it. Now, you shouldn't be buying it where it is right now. You want to be able to buy it when it's on sale. All right. That was a good one. Anthony said Netflix. Now, if you didn't know, Netflix was down, and I got to get out of here in about 10 minutes. Oh, no, I don't. I'm looking at the clock wrong. I'll get out of here in 40 minutes. Netflix was down 10% yesterday. So for anybody that wasn't able to buy Netflix, now this is what always happens. You guys get all excited about buying something because we talk about it. And this is what you're going to say when I pull it up. Oh, my Lord, Joe, the Netflix is $1,100. That's my whole check. Because in your mind, and this is what happens psychologically, and I do a lot of consultations. A lot of you feel so bad with your financial position that when you see a stock that's $1,000 or $1,100, your brain says, I want to be just like this person. This person is not better than me. I don't want to buy a fractional share because that means that I'm fractured. That's literally how you guys think, right? I want to own a full share. So until I'm able to buy an $1,100 share of Netflix, I'm just going to continue to buy these $4 and $5 and $20 stocks that I can afford. You can afford Netflix. You can buy $100 worth of Netflix. The problem is psychologically, you think that you're not good enough to own it. So you don't make any money on it. So you go buy these penny stocks and these terrible stocks, and you lose money on companies that are terrible instead of buying some of the best companies that are out there. Every single person on this call was forced to get a Netflix subscription or password because we have been using each other's passwords forever, right? So Netflix said, y'all gonna stop going out there and giving your passwords to 20 or 30 people. Y'all need to just go ahead and buy the subscription. It's $15 or $20. We giving y'all, it's the best. I don't know if y'all ever use Netflix. I don't care what country you go to, Netflix works. I don't care where you are. Whatever you streaming is always going to come in clear as day, right? I don't care what country you're in, where you're at. You can be somewhere that doesn't even have a signal. Your phone cannot have a signal. But if you pull up Netflix, somehow or another, that bad boy starts working. I don't know what algorithm or what they use or what technology they use to make their platform works, but they need to holler at at Prime. They need to holler at Hulu. They need to holler at all these other platforms, Disney Plus, because those platforms, for some odd reason, they can't stream the way Netflix streams. Netflix is the best. It's the baddest. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't care if you're angry at it because your kids are on it all the time, or you get on there and there's so many shows you don't know what to watch. Like, whatever hate you have for Netflix, it's gonna make you money, period. If you look at the history of Netflix, it makes no sense that all of us shouldn't have been buying Netflix. Netflix has been going in a straight line up ever since it was a $200 stock. I remember when y'all was complaining when it was $200 a share. Why would I buy this at $200 a share when I can buy Ford? And now it's $1,100 a share. And then y'all gonna be mad when it gets to $2,000 a share. Buy Netflix. Now, will I buy it here? That's the question. Netflix is down 10%. When high flyers like this sell off in price, what is the 200-day doing? It's angled up. That increases your luck. Where are most people buying it? Let's look at the patterns. When you look at the patterns, everybody and their mama from 2022, y'all are looking at 4 years worth of information. That's why I tell you guys, if you're not able to analyze a stock like this in 1 minute, there's no reason for you to even be in the stock market. Where is everybody buying Netflix at? How did everybody know to buy it here? Because the 1%ers, the stuff that I'm teaching you guys, where I got 2 people on and 3 people here, the other 99% ain't supposed to know this. They supposed to just go about their day not believing in the stock market, not knowing where to buy it, and they don't realize that buying and investing is mad easy. It's just y'all ain't looking at the charts. And you don't know anybody that's going to show you the charts. And then the people that do understand the charts, they're trying to charge you $25,000, and then they ain't even showing you the right stuff. And I'm going to continue to say that over and over and over again. And that's what I rant about. I don't rant about just everyday life. I rant about the people that are taking advantage of y'all, even people that are close to me, people that I've educated, people that have come into the rooms, listen to how I'm talking about the market, and then they still go out there and try to steal from you guys, right? So, Everybody's buying Netflix at the 200-day moving average, right? The last 4 years, if you bought this at the 200-day moving average, you made money. You made money to the upside. You options traders, you want to try the Millionaire Challenge. This is how you do it. Well, now we're at the 200-day moving average again. Now, here's the thing. Even though we're at the 200-day moving average, guys, even though we're at the 200-day moving average, when you see it at the 200-day moving average, you got to know how much it fell to get to that point. So if Netflix was at $1,300 and it fell to the 200-day moving average and it's only down 17%, that's not enough. If you've looked at the history of Netflix when it fell in price from its highs, it was always more than 17%. I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of the times it was 40 to 50%. Look at this drop. That was 23 right there. That was 23. Let's look at another drop. Y'all see it's only been like 2 or 3 minutes of me analyzing this, and I done told y'all more information that a lot of you guys would do in 3 or 4 hour sessions at night with your friends. That's a 15% drop. So let's look at this drop. This was a really big drop. This was a 30% drop. So it looks like when Netflix drops more than about 30%, it's a very good opportunity to buy it. So listen, let's do the math. It's down 17% now. That means at its worst, it might drop another 15% from here. So let's just do the math. What's 10% of $1,100? $100. That means if Netflix drops to $9.90 anything, it's on sale no matter how you feel about the stock. I know $9.99, $999 seem like a lot to you because that's how the stock market tricks you. It makes you think to yourself, $1,000 is a lot of money. I want it to go down to something that I can afford, which is $9 or $90. Netflix ain't dropping to $90 because there's so much money invested in it. In order for it to drop to $90, like all the subscriptions have to stop. Money has to flow out of the company, and it's not going to happen in one day. Everybody ain't just going to cancel their Netflix subscription in one day. Now, anything can happen, right? Something can come out. We could start boycotting it, whatever. But until you see something like that, there's no reason for you to think that Netflix is ever going back to $200 a share or $300 a share unless something ridiculous happens. If a pandemic happens, it's going to go higher. So what's going to stop Netflix from growing? Maybe other streaming devices doing well. But like I told y'all before, if you've been on any of them other streaming devices, they suck. Netflix is still the winner by far. And it has the most diverse types of shows that are on it. All right. So if you're going to buy it, in my opinion, it should be right around the $1,000 or $999 area. But if you want to take a shot at it here, you're getting it 17% on sale. Marla. I know I had these shades on, but I don't have my glasses on. All right. Marla says, you're talking about numbers that most of us can't imagine putting into one trade. I'm here for it, though. Right. But you guys got to understand, you can put any amount of money in a trade, right? If I was looking, like, options guys cost $10. So, and I can buy a $10 option on Netflix right now, right? So I don't want you guys thinking about numbers anymore. I want you to think about your number. I don't want you to think about my numbers. I want you to think about your numbers. If you're looking at Netflix and you're seeing at 11, you see it at 1,100, don't look at it as an $1,100 stock. Look at it as an $11 stock. Maybe you can buy 100 shares of it. That's $110. If $110 is all you have to invest in it, then start there. There's so many platforms that give you a fractional shares where you don't have to buy the full share. You'll own 1/10 of Netflix. But guess what? If even if you owned 1/10 of Netflix at $110 a share and Netflix grows to $11,000 a share, your $110 is still going to grow to $1,100, which is where it's at right now. right? But psychologically, we always want to own, like a lot of us won't buy Bitcoin because it's $118,000. But if I told you that for a fact, Bitcoin was going to go from 100,000 to $1,000,000 a coin, would you buy it? Some of us are like, no, because I can't afford 100,000, because you still stuck in la la land and where people don't make money. The only number that I got from that is that it's going to grow 10 times its value. If I knew that Bitcoin, like if it was a guarantee that it was going to give you a 10 bagger, that means if I have if I have 10,000 invested in it, it's going to be worth 100. If I got $100 in it, it's going to be worth 1,000 one day. If I got $10 in it at $118,000 and it goes to $1,000,000, my $10 is going to be worth 100. And then I got to take my little $100, and I don't want to say little because it's a lot to some people. And then I want to keep doing that over and over again. I don't care about stock price. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's an illusion. You have your price and your price. We all make the same percentages, right? We're all going to have different values invested, but we all are going to make the same percentages. All right, cool. Auntie Diary says, no 9 to 5. I'm so far gone from the questions. I don't even know what that's attached to, so I apologize. I don't know what that means. Freddie says TMC. All right, TMC. You down with TMC? The metals company. All right, $7 stock. Ooh, I like that, Joel. You talking my language. Y'all be killing me buying stuff, because not you, Freddie. I know Freddie can afford it. Freddie was just over in Africa where I'm trying to be. But this is a $7 stock that's coming down in price. Now the 200-day moving average is angled up. All right, it's angled up, which increases your luck. All right, but it looks like it wants to come in a little bit. So what I want to do is, if I'm looking at it on a yearly basis, the 200-week moving average is starting to angle up, which is good, right? So that's going to give me the strength or the encouragement to keep buying this. But I want to buy everything on sale. I want to buy things on sale where the average price is going up, right? If I know the average prices of houses have been going up in a neighborhood at 10% a pop each year, I want to be in that development. I don't want to be in a housing development where if you look at the history of the houses in the neighborhood, they've been going down in value for 10 years. I want to be in hot areas that are on sale. I want you guys to think like that. I want to be in hot companies that are on sale that have growth potential, but I want to be realistic in the growth potential. And the only way you guys are going to learn that is by looking at the market cap. Okay. So the metals company, they're talking about metals a lot, right? They're talking about, I'm looking at CNBC right now. They're talking about buying the gold dip with Newmont. Why is it so important? Because we're in a huge war with China right now. And the war is, in the last 10 years, while we were sitting back enjoying life, China was stockpiling on all the commodities that were out there: lithium, gold, silver, copper. And a lot of these precious metals are used in a lot of the things that we're doing. Like, a lot of people don't know that silver is a industrial metal. Lithium is used in, if you want to do electric cars, even hybrid engines, you're going to need a lot of lithium. Well, China's been out there stockpiling it. Now, we weren't just sitting down doing nothing. We were creating companies. Like we were making some of the biggest and largest companies, like your NVIDIAs, right? Your Apples, your Amazons, your Teslas, right? But you need precious metals in order for these companies to work. So there's like the chicken or the egg, right? America is like, well, what's the use of having the precious metals if you can't do anything with it? And China is like, well, we can be stuck right here and not have a revolution where AI takes over, and we're good with it, because the way China operates is China looks 100 years in advance. They don't look 3 or 4 years like we do. They position themselves for 100-year moves. So they're like, yo, we can sit for 50 years and not care what's happening around the world, and we'll just develop and create everything here. And so that's the war that's happening. So you're going to see these stocks, they're going to be very, very speculative. Gold hit all-time highs earlier this week. Silver hit all-time highs last week. They all pulled back really hard in the last couple of days. Anything that's associated with it, whether it's mining or whether it's an ETF, you're going to get a lot of moves. So a lot of day traders love trading things like that. Okay. Hopefully that was what TMC actually does. See, sometimes I act just like your uncle and think I know everything, and sometimes I'm just wrong. So let's see what TMC actually does. What is TMC, the stock, and what do they do? And what is the market cap? Oh, God. All right, let's see what TMC, what is T? Did I write it right? Yeah, what is TMC? Back in the day, it was the movie channel, and only rich people had the movie channel. And the movie channel used to have all the R-rated movies that we couldn't watch. But it's called the Metals Company. It's a mining exploration company focused on deep sea minerals, specifically collecting, processing, and refining polymetallic nodules found on the seafloor in the Clarion-Clipperton zone of the Pacific Ocean. These nodules contain nickel, cobalt, copper, manganese, all critical minerals for, guess what, guys? Batteries, electrification, infrastructure, and defense. TMC holds exploration commercial rights in contract areas via its sponsors, aiming to be a supplier of battery, of whatever. It's a $3.4 billion company. So this is one of those few cases where a low price stock is matched with a low price market cap. So I would tell people these are the type of companies that can make you a lot of money in the future, because look, think about it. Even if this company was worth $10 billion one day, it's a $3 billion stock. Let's say it does its mining, it get, people start investing in the company and it's worth 10 billion, right? If this company grows 3 times its value, its stock price is going to grow 3 times its value. That means this $7 stock can go to 21 if this becomes a $10 stock. If this company ever became a $100 billion company, it can grow 30 times its value. That means your $7 stock could be worth $210 one day. Okay. So that's how I want you guys to start doing the math. Stop doing the math by, who is $7? I got $100. I can divide it by 7, and then assuming that it can go to 20 or 30 or $40. A lot of the times the market cap is so big that it actually can't get to that value that you think that stock price can get to. All right. I know it's something so simple and so basic. A lot of you guys on this call are like, I can't believe I've been trading and investing for all of these years and I had no idea that that's where you make your money, the market cap. I used to just think this $7, and because I've seen stocks that were $2,000, if a person's willing to pay $2,000 for this company or this share price, my stock price can go to 2,000. No. In order for that to go to $2,000 a share, the market cap has to grow with it. And if there's not enough money on the planet for that market cap to get to that value, there's no way your stock price is going to grow to the value you think is going to go to. Why these teachers are not teaching that, I have no idea. A lot of the times it's because they don't even know. And they got degrees. It's wild out here, guys. It's wild. All right. L Light said, did you look at Tesla yet? Nope. Tesla is always mentioned. No matter how much y'all hate Elon, y'all always want to look at Tesla. No matter how much y'all hate Elon, no matter what golf course I go to, I always get asked about my Tesla. They don't ever say Tesla. How's your Tesla, Joel? And I'm like, well, I don't care too much for the CEO, but the car is the best vehicle I've ever owned. I've owned it. I bought, me and my wife, one cash with the money that we had invested in Tesla. And maintenance wise, I've spent $500 total, guys, in 4 years of owning 2 Teslas, over 100,000 miles on both cars combined. I've spent a whopping $500 in 4 years and y'all still got stuff to say about electric vehicles. I pay for no gas. All right, now I have replaced my tires because I race, right? My car go from 0 to 60 in 3.5. Ain't nobody beating me on the road unless you got the Lamborghini truck or you got a GTR. Like, ain't nothing going 3.5 0 to 60. And I'm pulling up in my SUV and you're looking over like, oh, that's a tell you're not going to beat me off the jump. These are things that a lot of people just don't know. My car is just as fast as any Ferrari or Lamborghini or McLaren that's on the road, right? I've raced those cars before in my little SUV, right? These are the things people don't know about electric vehicles. They're the fastest cars on the road and they're the most efficient cars on the road. I don't give a damn about Elon, but that's not going to stop me from having a vehicle that doesn't have any maintenance. I think I replaced the brakes at 100,000 miles, right? All I replaced was the air filters. Yet y'all are getting oil changes every 3 months. You guys got to change out your spark plugs. You got to change out your mufflers. You guys are spending money on gas. So while I'm looking like the idiot by having this super efficient vehicle that's faster than all of y'all's vehicles, y'all looking at me sideways. And I'm like, guys, y'all got to get over that. Like, y'all got to get over people. Elon is not Tesla. Tesla is Tesla. Elon can die tomorrow. Tesla's still going to survive, right? I understand it's the mentality behind what he's doing. So I'm like, well, then don't put his face or whatever on your feeds. Like, but to demonize the car because the CEO is messed up in some way, I just don't get it. And I'm not going to sell my Tesla and go buy a gas vehicle because you feel some type of way when I pull up. I'm just not going to do it. All right. Anyway, their stock is almost at all-time highs again. All right. It's almost at all-time highs again. All right. So the 200-week moving average is angled up. The 200-day moving average is angled up. No matter how much you hate Tesla, Tesla's going to keep going up in value. Okay. The best time to buy it was at the 200-day moving average. Y'all missed it. When it happened, you didn't believe in it. And then you could have made money from 215 all the way to 428. You could have made 100. Y'all remember how we talking about doubling your money? You could have doubled your money right here. How long did it take? If you had bought this in April, it went from 215 and we finally just hit 400 in September. So it took a little bit of while, but you could have taken a slow route. You could have bought, and remember, guys, it was $200 a share back in April. A lot of us have $200. That could have been your 200 to 400. Then you could have sold it, and now you can take that 400 and go buy something else that you think can flip 100%. And then you put that 400 into something until it turns to 800. Then once your brain starts to understand that making 100% return is no biggie, you're going to start getting that millionaire mindset. You're going to start thinking like the 1%ers. You're going to stop thinking like thousandaires that think 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals whatever. Where I'm thinking one, double, like I count differently. I see things differently. I know when things are on sale, and I'm trying to teach you guys how to do the same thing. So, whether you believe in the company or if you don't believe in the company, it's making money with you or without you. And driverless vehicles are happening. I'm in Atlanta and I can't go in the city without seeing 3 or 4 Waymos driving around. They're coming to a town in a city near you. A great company that you want to buy that you might lose money on it for the first 5 or 10 years. It's a company called Joby. All right. It's going to be the first flying commercial vehicle. All right. They're already in production. It's already $1 billion market cap company and higher. Once that company became $1 billion company, it became legitimate. Anything under $1 billion is not legitimate, and Wall Street does not want to touch it. If it's got a pink sheet attached to it, guys, it's probably going to lose you money. 99% chance you're going to lose all your money in it. Once it became $1 billion company, it becomes part of some of these indexes. It's going to get money even if it doesn't want to get funding so that it can happen. It might lose money for the first 10 years. Guys, Uber Tesla, Amazon, all of these companies lost money the first 10 years of their existence, but the stocks kept going up in value because investors believed in it until the market cap was so large and they were reinvesting in their companies because the market is rigged to go up, that the company had to become profitable. Nvidia is probably going to forever be profitable because they're using a lot of their funds to go buy these other companies that they know that are growing. And wouldn't they know exactly what's happening and what's, because they're the ones that's moving the market, right? Jensen Wang and all these CEOs, Tim Cook, they're literally having meetings with the president, and the president is telling them what the government is willing to do for them and for those companies. Yet y'all still out here listening to Uncle Sam and Uncle Ted and Auntie Jane. I don't want to say Jane because my mother-in-law's named Jane. But y'all still listening to these thousandaires tell you what to invest in and still trying to get you to buy penny stocks where you're gonna lose money. The new penny stock market is the options market and the crypto market. If you're not trading the options market and the crypto market, there's no reason why you should be buying these penny stocks, right? You still have a, it's not a millionaire mentality. All right. I'll say that a millionaire mentality is to not buy penny stocks. That is, I can't win. I'm trying to catch up. So I'm going to buy these losers expecting them to make me money when all they're doing is stealing your money. It's just like these teachers that are not showing you guys legitimately what they're doing and how they're doing it. And they're stealing your money. They're getting rich off of taking money from you for classes and not showing you examples of, hey, this is where you should be buying Tesla. Hey, this is when I bought Tesla and this is what my percentage was. Hey, I got $100,000 here. I got skin in the game here. I got skin in the game there. They're not going to do it because why? Why would I do that? That's going to hurt my business over here. I'm here to tell you that I make most of my money through investing and trading so I can give freely to you guys because it don't matter. Right. And then you guys can come on and give me stock tips that I want to look at that I didn't have my eyes on, that I'm like, ooh, maybe I should buy that. Now, Oracle, this is a good one. Why is Oracle such a great company? Well, for one, Oracle is invested in TikTok, right? TikTok. Oracle is invested in TikTok. All right. So the fact that Oracle is one of the owners of TikTok and you guys are on TikTok right now, there's no reason why you shouldn't own Oracle. All right. You guys are trying to monetize the platform, but you ain't trying to monetize your pocketbook. I want you guys to do both. There's a way to be aggressive and conservative at the same damn time. That's what I want you. I want you guys to be super conservative, 90% of your funds invested. And then I want y'all to be ignorant and buy all the crazy things people tell you not to buy, but we're not going to spend all of our money on it. We're only going to take 10% of our assets and we're going to get ignorant with it, right? We're only going to take 10% of our paychecks. And that's what you're going to use for your investing or your trading. And I still want you guys to be ignorant. Go eat at the best restaurants, go to the clubs and pop bottles. But at least if you're going to pop bottles, if I'm going to spend $1,000 at the club tonight, let me put $100 in my account and then go take 900 to the club. All right, there might be one bottle I can't buy, right? I want y'all to be ignorant and conservative at the same damn time. All right. That's how you win in this game. You got to have fun while you're doing it, but you got to be in the speculative stuff, but you got to be able to know what to look for. Oracle is dropping in price. Why? Because once it went up that big, that much, why are you guys buying it at the all-time highs? Right? I know a lot of you guys buying Oracle. I put out a thing that said, hey, now I'm thinking about buying Oracle, but I'm not going to buy Oracle on the day it pops 30%. You just think that you're going to buy it when it pops 30%, guys. I promise you, if you had 100,000 in it and then the next morning you woke up and it's worth $130,000, that's like flipping a house. When we flip houses, that's the kind of numbers we look for. When a company is up 20 or 30% in one day, guys, Can it keep going? Yes, but you're not going to find Joel. But now I'll day trade it all day long. I'll get in it and out of it as I see it moving. But I'm not going to buy it way up here because every single stock that you guys look at on a daily basis, these high flyers are going to drop. Not if you look at charts, they're going to drop 10 to 20 to 30% every single solitary year. Every year. Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, they're all going to drop 20% from their highs. All of them. And you're going to always feel like something is wrong with the company. And no, that's not what's wrong with it. It's just that the smart traders are selling it to the dumb traders. And then when it comes back in 20%, the smart traders come back in, and then they'll put a catalyst out there to push it up higher. And then the dumb traders will come in thinking that they outsmarted everybody. And then it's just rinse and repeat over and over again. Or you'll get the buyer that wants to get everything on sale. They'll see a stock go down for a whole year and then be like, I know I'm smarter than everybody. I'm about to buy this stock that's cheap, that's way down here. And I'm thinking, you really think that you smarter than Wall Street and me and everybody else that's out there? Now, if I ain't buying it and if Wall Street ain't buying it and ain't nobody talking about it, what makes you think you smarter than everybody else? It's ego. It's y'all's. It's that being frugal your whole life. I don't want to buy everything at the high. I want to be a black sheep. I want to go the opposite way. Or you guys are using these counter trending tools, right? Which is great for trading, maybe for like a day or two, but terrible for investing. All right. Stop using them. If you're an investor, there's no reason why you should be using a counter trending tool. Because you got the VIX. The VIX is going to drop, when to buy it, right? You got support and resistance. You got that. You got moving averages. Like, why do I need to put 15 things on my chart to tell me where the lows are? It's because you're not comfortable with the market yet. So Oracle, that's my rent for the day. Oracle was 345. Anybody that bought it up there, you got. You got. Now it's dropping. Okay. If you got, it doesn't mean that you need to sell, but Oracle dropped 20% from, guys, the day it dropped, it popped 35%. It's now 20% from that highs. If you decided to buy it today, at least you bought it 20% on. Like, guys, if you're going to buy something on sale, at least buy it when it's 20% off. My number is 10 to 20% off, period. You're not going to ever see me buy anything unless it's got some type of equity in it. It's 20% off. If you want to take a shot at it here, by all means, buy it. I'm going to wait until it gets around this 200 area or maybe the support area right here, because that's a place that it dropped to. And somebody, and billionaires bought it right here for a reason. And now it's coming back down. So a lot of the times people are going to want to buy it when it gets back to this low before all of these people made money, all of the insiders that had information prior to it jumping. But we're so close to this 200-day moving average, and we're so close to 200, you might as well just wait till it gets to about $200. Okay. If you want to buy it here, I would say, think to yourself, if I'm going to buy it here, it still has room to drop another $20, which is another 10%. If you can stomach a 10% drop, buy it. If you can't stomach a 10% drop, sell. It's very, very simple. Okay. But it looks good. Okay. And a lot of people are buying it because TikTok is about to start growing, in my opinion, now that it's not going to get banned. I mean, you see that I'm on the joint now. All right. LS says, I got to leave in 6 minutes. LS says, how do you determine how much a company's market cap can grow? Very good question. So I come from the real estate side of the market. I'm sorry, not the real estate side of the market. I come from real estate. I'm actually getting an appraisal done today. All right. An appraisal is getting done today on one of the listings that I have so I can sell it. What is an appraisal? If you ever sold real estate, appraiser is just a educated individual that comes in, that's licensed, that comes in, and they determine the price of a particular asset or a house, not by the sticks and stones that are in it, but they include location, where it's located, the materials that are in it, the condition that the house is in, and they give you an educated guess on how much that's worth. So when I came into the stock market, it was very, very easy for me to understand value, because understanding value is all I used to do and what I continue to do to this day. So in order for you to understand where a market cap can grow, you have to understand the the area that particular stock is in, the industry that market is in, right? Right now, Wall Street is giving any company that's involved with AI the highest appraisal ever. Where do we get that appraisal from? Well, Nvidia is the largest company on the planet, right? So it's worth $4 trillion. So that means that any mega cap company that's doing just as well as Nvidia, that are getting money from investors, if they're doing really, really well, their appraisal is going to be whatever the highest price company is, which is Nvidia right now. Because remember, the stock side of the game, guys, is the investing side. It's whatever investors are willing to pay for that particular company. And then you got people that will use formulas to try to figure out the value of a company. If they're growing at this particular case, you got your PE ratios. And I don't want to confuse you with all of that. I just want to dumb it down to this is what they value it at. Sometimes they'll say a company is worth 20 times its value, right? Or 20 times its, if it's growing at 20%, they can kind of tell you where the stock is going to be a year from now, right? And if Nvidia said, look, we made, last quarter, they said we're growing 50% higher than we were the year before. Well, then now they're saying, well, dang, if you're growing at 50%, and your market cap is at 4 billion, that means by next year your company should be at 4 trillion. It should be worth, at 6 trillion, because half of 4 trillion is 2 trillion. You add that's 6 trillion. So if it's a $4 billion company now and you got 10,000 invested, and they said that the company can get to 6 trillion, you know that your 10,000 might be worth 15,000 in about a year, right? So it depends on the industry it's in. And what I do is I always go and look at the leaders. Whatever the largest company in that industry is worth, that's going to give me the maximum value that company can probably get to, even if it was growing at a ridiculous rate. And that doesn't mean that that's the actual value it's going to get to. Like, for example, McDonald's might be the highest restaurant company in market cap, right? Then you'll have a company like Shake Shack that I've been telling you guys to buy because it's only about a 10 or $15 billion company, whereas McDonald's is like worth 200 or 300 billion. So that lets you know that Shake Shack has room to grow. And remember, guys, I don't talk in stock price because I don't care about stock price. Shake Shack has room to grow. They just got a license to be able to go into a lot of the stadiums and a lot of the airports in the country. So Shake Shack is a company that's growing. Until you see Shake Shack on every corner, you should be buying the company hands over fist for an investment, which has been one of my best producers. And I've been telling you guys to buy Shake Shack for the past 2 years because of this reason. Doesn't mean that Shake Shack can't drop 40 or 50%. But as long as they have growth potential and their earnings keeps increasing, they're going to get valued at a certain level. So they're going to compare Shake Shack to other companies that are fast growing, maybe companies like a Chipotle, right? So if a Cava comes out, everybody's looking at Chipotle because if it's a Mediterranean type restaurant, well, I want to compare it to the largest and the baddest and the best. And that's going to give you an idea. It doesn't mean that that's where it's going to go to, but it's going to give you an idea of how much that company can actually grow. And you can get the market cap just by going to Yahoo Finance and looking at what the market cap is, or going into Ask Joe GPT and asking what's the market cap of this particular company. Freddie also said that $1,000 flipped 5 times. Then the next 5 hitting 1 million blew my mind. I got to lock it in. You know what I'm saying? And that's just flipping money. When we were looking at TMC and looking at other stocks, these stocks are growing. They have small market caps that can grow, not small dollar amounts, guys, small market caps, because stocks can always reverse stock split. They said if Apple had its original stock price from when it first opened, I think Apple would be like $100,000 a share. Now, $100,000 a share is going to scare people like you, right? So they have to reverse stock split and make their stock price look like it's a certain price to make you think that it's cheap so that you will continue buying it. Because if you knew that it was actually $100,000 a share, you're not going to buy it. Or the average person is going to look at it, think that it's too much, and only the billionaire and and trillionaire funds are going to be buying it. All right. Jerome, who I'm supposed to be golfing with in about an hour. This is Pastor Harris. Pastor Harris says, if you are a rookie, now he ain't no rookie because he done made money in Palantir. He been making money in all the different stocks that I've been telling him to buy. But Pastor Harris says, if you're a rookie when trading options, how do you determine what stock to buy outside of market cap? Or is that the determining factor? And do you have to day trade? All right. Options, guys, is for your advanced traders, period. I don't want anybody trading options unless you've taken some type of course. Now, here's the thing. I don't want y'all taking, unless you take a course from me, I want you guys to I think I have a $300 or $400 class that you guys can download and literally learn how to trade options like an advanced trader. Thinkorswim also offers free class. A lot of these platforms that you guys are on, they have an education tab. Like right up here, I don't know where it is, but right up here on the Thinkorswim platform, there is a education tab. Here it is right here. You click the education tab. You click options. You learn what options are for free before you take a $15,000 or $20,000 class on options. It's killing me because I'm like, guys, these options classes that these reputable companies are giving to you for free are way better than most of the option classes I see these educators out there teaching. And you guys are going there first, not vetting, learning stuff. And I mean, again, I would say 1 out of 1,000 teachers are actually legitimate. I don't even learn from anybody anymore. I learn from CNBC and Bloomberg, and then I go into Thinkorswim when I want to learn different things. I don't go to people anymore. I don't believe in people because I know people are just doing it to get rich. And then anything that I learned that's new, I'll take that information and then I'll go into Chat GPT and I'll try to learn it, right? And then if I want to get a little bit more advanced, I'll ask the teacher or whoever I'm going to take classes from, what does this entail? Right. And then I want to see if that aligns with what my goals are. And that's how I go about deciding if I want to get. And I haven't been educated from a teacher since I took Invest Tools back in 2008, where I learned support, resistance, and trend lines, like literally. And I did, and I'm glad that I did that because the first class that I took after that was a $10,000 options class where they just sent me 4 DVDs and was like, have at it. And I was pissed about that because they were attached to Invest Tools at the time, which later became TD Ameritrade. And I think TD Ameritrade kind of knew they were wrong. So that's why all of their education is free now, because in the beginning, they used to be a paid source. And then so many people were getting duped that they were like, all right, even TD Ameritrade was trying to grow at the time, because that's what teachers do, right? If you don't have no money and you ain't got anything, you're going to try to, that's why we're on TikTok. Like, I'm not knocking anybody from having how-to videos, but at least be an expert in what you do. And then just be, just let everybody know where you're at in that journey. People love to see people grow within the industry so they can grow with you. But it's this, if you know that I'm really this way, you're not going to take this, or my value is going to go down. And I just, at my age, I just don't have time for that anymore. All right. So, but to answer your question, Pastor Harris, The cheaper a stock, the cheaper the options usually are, right? So $100 stock will have a cheaper options price than $1,000 stock. All right. So a lot of people do tend to look for cheaper price things, especially the meme stocks that are out there, because you can buy options on them and you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You can spend hundreds of dollars and still be able to make your money. But what I encourage you to do is take a options course on Thinkorswim, or book a one-on-one consultation with me where I'll teach it. Or guys, take my options course that I literally I can teach it to fifth graders or eighth graders, and they can understand exactly what I'm teaching and what the model is. And then you can kind of try to apply it to your you can try to apply it towards your strategy. In the options world, market cap really doesn't mean much, but the market cap of a company, depending on what it is, if it's not a reputable company where people are willing to allow, because when you're trading options, you're really borrowing money. So a penny stock doesn't have enough money involved in it. Like it's rare to find a penny stock that has options attached to it. It's usually going to be your mid cap or large cap companies that are offering these options, because somebody owns a lot of it and they're making money off of it by renting those options to you. And I don't want to confuse or make this all complicated and what options are, because once you guys understand what they are, you're going to say, oh, okay, I get it now. It's like buying a house, right? Back in the day, I could control a house with my $2,500 worth of earnest money. So just to keep it simple, options work this way. Let's say I see $100,000 house down the street. I can write a contract up and say, hey, I'm going to write a contract up to buy your house for $100,000, and I'm going to give you $2,500. And then I might have a friend that's moving into town, and I can say, hey, friend that's moving into town, I just put a contract on this house that I'm going to buy for $100,000. I haven't bought it yet with $100,000. I only put 2,500 up. But what I'll do is, because I found this gem, I'll sell this house to you for $110,000. Well, the friend buys the house from you for $110,000. You never ever came with $100,000. You only put $2,500 up. But then you sold your contract, which was 100, to this person who had $110,000 contract. You just made $10,000, but you only put up $2,500. That means you made about a 400% return off the money that you put up. That's pretty much what options are. You use a little bit of money to control a lot of money, and you got to try to sell that contract before it expires. Otherwise, you're going to have to come with the money. Don't want to confuse you guys on what it actually is, but in a nutshell, that's what options are and why people trade options, because it's the most ridiculous thing that people created that helps people make 100-200%, because you're selling $25,000 worth of Apple to somebody else for $27,000, but you only use $200 to control it. And that difference in that 25,000 and 27,000 is what you take home, even though to rent it, you only rented it for like $100 or $200. I know you guys are like, hold up, Joel, you mean to tell me I can go out there and borrow $30,000 worth of Apple and sell it to somebody for $35,000 and make $5,000 and I only used 100? I'm like, yep. And that's why the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, because they don't know that there are tools out there that's allowing them to do it. But guys, for real, I want you guys to get educated. Don't go out there, lose all your money, and then say, I heard this Joel talk about options on a live and what you can and can't do, and I done lost all my money, because you can lose that whole $200 it took to rent those options. All right. So just be careful, or come to me, or get educated. All right. All right. So I'm going to have to get on out of here, guys. Thank you for all the comments. There were a lot that came in today, and I appreciate it. I didn't get to everybody's questions. But one of these questions, I'm looking at some of them. Get Fit said, can a new trader trade Apple without $25,000? You sure can. You can trade it in the options market. Now, look, this is a real number. You need $25,000 to get in and out of the market more than 3 times a week. Every single one of us can buy Apple today. I can buy Apple. Let's pull up Apple. Every single one of us today had the opportunity to buy Apple this morning. Let's see how much Apple was this morning. Let's say this morning you woke up and you wanted to buy Apple, and you had 200 and let's say you had $260, right? And you woke up this morning, and let's look at a 1 minute chart. You guys love this chart. This is like the favorite chart from day traders. So this is why day traders make a lot of money in the market, right? They'll come in at 9:30 and they'll buy Apple right here for $257. All right. Every single solitary one of us that are on this call right now could have bought Apple this morning for $257. And what time is it right now? Right now it's at $260. Every single solitary one of us could have bought Apple for $257, sold it for $260, and made $3. I don't know how much your commissions would have been, but let's just say outside of commissions, you would have been able to buy it and sell it and never be an Apple again. You're able to do that 3 times a week. Anything that's more than 3 times a week, you have to have more than $25,000 in your account to do it. All right. So day traders that are getting in and out of the market, what they're doing is they're taking 25,000. So let's say you had $25,000 and you use all 25,000 to buy Apple at $257 a share. Well, this is how they're making $1,000 a day. They're buying Apple in the morning with their $25,000. And by the end of the day, the $25,000 is going to control 100 shares. I mean, you're going to be able to buy 100 shares. So if you own 100 shares and 100 shares grows $3 in price, that means $3 times 100 is $300. With $25,000, I could have bought Apple this morning and sold it, and I would have made $300. And I could have been in and out of that stock, and I could do that every single solitary day. So if you ever wanted to treat this like a business, you definitely want to have at least 30K to be able to start. Now, that's if you're buying stock. There is the futures market, there is the options market, there is the crypto market. In the crypto market, you can get in and out of the market as many times as you want to with however much money you have. So a lot of youth are going into the crypto space because they can get in and out of the market and they're not confined to having the $25,000. The stock market people who are treating this like a business, I don't want you to go with 25. They're starting out with about 30 grand. And then with 30 grand, they can get in and out of the market. But I always tell people, look, you might only trade once or twice a week. So you don't even really need the 30 grand if you only going to trade the market once or twice and then wait till next week and then trade once or twice and then wait the next week. You don't need to have the 25,000. This is for the people like myself that's going to get in and out 11 times a day. And to not do that, a lot of people are going into the futures market where you don't need $25,000. You can have as little as $250, and you can get in and out of the market a gazillion times. So a lot of traders, when they first start out, they'll learn how to trade futures. And I also have a futures class that you guys can download and buy. So sorry I wasn't able to get to everybody's questions. There were a lot, but I got to get on out of here. I'm coming to you guys from Decatur, where it's greater. Happy Thursday. Share this video with as many people as you can, please. And I'm out of here. Make sure you guys follow this journey that we're going to have. I'm going to teach in November how to become an intermediate trader and investor in 30 days, starting November 1st to November 30th. Then on December 1st to December 30th, I'm taking intermediate traders from where we left off in November. And I'm going to teach you guys options and futures so that by time December finishes, you guys will be advanced traders, able to see the market better than anybody that's out there. And I'm actually going to do it for free on TikTok. All right. So again, share this. If you're all about monetizing TikTok, follow me on TikTok. Go. We're all trying to do all of this together. I'm trying to learn the platform. I'm 9 days in. I'm already doing extremely well there. I'll try to do these every Thursday. But once the challenges start, I think I still will do it every Thursday so that my other communities will still be able to get these gems that we have. But I'm coming to you guys from Decatur, where it's greater, and I'm out of here. Peace.